Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. And I've tried, Guude. I did some work off camera to see what I was doing wrong with this design, and I got nothing. Nothing. It must have changed or something, because all the chickens die no matter what. I even just tried using water to drown them, thinking it was the lava. I've tried a fence post. They just randomly die in here.
What do you mean by randomly die?
When they spawn in, after so often, I'll just hear them go, bah, 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 and they like get stuck in the wall and they die.
Mine aren't getting stuck in the wall above.
No, the chicken dispensary.
Yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying.
I don't know. Well, you gotta remember, they are like on a half slab, so that they're.
Yeah, no, I think you gotta do it a little differently. You know what I mean?
Thanks. I don't know how though.
What you gotta do is
layers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, we can always make it so it just spits out more chickens down here and we kill them. But
it's not very automated.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be this elaborate for that. I mean, that would just be to have a place where chickens to get spawned and then die. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna rip that thing out. But yeah, that's about it. I guess I can work on trying to get something inside this silo over here today.
That's not very exciting. I mean, not your silo thing, but your
thanks.
Your content's pretty boring.
Appreciate it.
No, I mean can't you? I think what it is you're trying to spawn them in such a small area and stuff. Can't you do something a little different where?
Well, I just don't. I'm trying to think of the best way. How do you separate out babies from adults and chickens? If this design doesn't work, and this was like the go-to design on, everything that.
Yeah. That I have no idea about.
And that's the problem, is because you can't kill the babies and get anything out of them. You got to somehow let them grow up. And then once they grow up, you kill them.
Right.
And I just don't know how to separate them out if I don't use this design. Let's see. I don't know what color stairs I should put inside.
So that's really what it comes down to, is you need to figure out how to segregate them.
Yes, it's all about segregation. I mean, Donald Trump's in office, so I figure, let's
Lord have mercy.
Bring back segregation. I'm curious to see this week, though, the whole thing with now that it's gotten more popularity throughout the week about what happens on Sunday for the national anthem, if more people are protesting or what. It was really funny because I saw a news ad, and of course all the news sites, they hype everything up for their own purposes or whatever, but it was flashing through pictures of teams and showing things on the bottom like Trump says NFL players should be fired, and it showed people like having jerseys getting burnt by fans because of how upset the fans are about all this stuff. And it was funny because the very last jersey it shows getting burned is a Green Bay Packers jersey, and then the very next picture that it showed was showing one of the entire Green Bay Packers team together standing for the national anthem, showing like how some of the owners are afraid of Trump because he made that comment. And I was like, wait, you're showing that the Green Bay Packers are all standing for the anthem because they're afraid of Trump, but fans are still pissed and burning their jerseys as well? Like,
yeah, maybe they were upset that they.
I don't know if that's what they were trying to insinuate from it, or if they were just stupid in the pictures that they put together because they just got videos of people burning things and used it without looking at the fact that the next picture they used was going to be against their point.
So the Cowboys kneeled and then stood?
I didn't watch the Cowboys game, so I actually don't know. That's kind of weird. Were they trying to... What was that message?
I don't know. I don't really care about any of this. To be honest, I find that the more I find that I don't care about anything anymore.
I mean, it makes it easier not to care for sure.
Yeah.
It makes life way easier to deal with if you really don't care about it. Because, I mean, honestly, you and I personally, does the protesting of the national anthem at a football game affect us in any way?
Right. Not at all.
So, exactly. So, it's not really something that needs to be cared about by us, in theory. Not saying it, you could argue about, what it means and blah, 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 sure. But the direct act of it happening is not impacting us at all. However, if Trump is taking his talking points to that instead of other important issues at hand, and in theory could indirectly affect us very...
Well, see, I don't feel like the president has the power to really affect this type of stuff. Like, not just Trump, like any president. Like, if Obama was saying hockey sucks, like, okay.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I'd have to really look through the law, because I'm only saying that because isn't there specific laws against, like, flag burning?
No, you can burn a shit on a flag.
I thought there was laws against flag burning.
No, it's protected.
The burning of the flag is protected speech?
Yeah.
I mean, from that, like, First Amendment right stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I did not know that. I could have sworn there was flag burning problems.
There is flag burning. Oh, problems.
Yeah, problems with the act of burning a flag.
No.
I've personally never burned the flag to have wanted to look up the law myself, but is there nothing that doesn't directly impact somebody else then? I thought there was some weird things that were very controversial in the fact that they were illegal, though they were technically rights that people feel were protected by the First Amendment, but I could be wrong.
I'm trying to pull up
Something on flag burning?
Yeah. The Supreme Court declared on June 11th, 1990, that laws against desecrating the flag are unconstitutional.
So there were laws against them, but they declared them unconstitutional.
I think there was, in 1990, people were trying to pass laws against them, and then the Supreme Court had to intervene and basically say, you can't do that.
I mean, I'm glad the Supreme Court made that decision. I'm surprised it was in 1990, and I somehow don't know that.
I could read more, but I have to walk.
It must have been just yesterday that they passed this, you're saying.
I mean, I think burning the flag's stupid. But...
I mean, I guess people would have their protesting reasons to burn the flag, just as if somebody has the reason to protest and kneel to the national anthem. They'll have their own reasoning for wanting to do so. So, I mean, if it's...
I don't believe that any of these things directly bring change, though, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, people try to bring change with some quite random events all the time, and I guess sometimes they work, though, so...
Yeah, I guess. Keys not to care.
Sometimes they're just there, that they're huge turnouts.
I mean, I guess people talking, right? So I guess that's a thing.
Right. I mean, like the Women's March after the inauguration. That was huge turnout, but did it really impact any change to anything?
Well...
Got people talking, for sure.
I don't know, I guess all these things are kind of a slow-going thing, and maybe in 10 years we'll look back and realize that this or that made a big difference. But it's hard to see that in the short term. So it's hard to feel like you're doing anything that actually makes a difference.
Do you feel, let's say, the investigation against Trump turns out to actually produce enough evidence and he gets impeached and sent to jail?
Sent to jail, right? Sorry.
Sent to prison, I guess.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to. But if it did, do you think that would bring about any, like, official change in anything?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question, I guess, because I'm gonna. It's not that I don't want to ask that question. I want to ask a different question.
Okay.
Do you think that if they've said that in 21 states that there were attempts to tamper with the voting process, be it either hacking and getting records and then being able to better target people to affect their ability to vote, or directly trying to hack the voting machines. They've said several times that the actual voting process itself was unhindered as far as the votes
as far
cast.
as they want to admit. I mean,
well, that's what my question is. Do you actually think that if let's say in every state, not just the 21 states, let's say in every state, the voting records had been altered through some kind of outside means, and the government knew it, do you think that they would actually tell us?
I doubt it. Can you look at this tree for a minute? Am I crazy? Wow.
There's a little man coming after
There's
you.
two of them. They don't like me looking at their tree.
No, that's their tree. Yeah. There's it changes colors halfway up.
Is that it wouldn't be a new biome going up, right?
No, that's really weird. That's a bizarre tree you have.
Is it two types of wood?
I don't think so. I think
Good
it's just.
God, you guys are gonna kill me.
I'm gonna watch.
I have 28 levels, man.
I know you were telling me that, but it was almost like you were telling I'm so much older than you.
Don't kill me. I'm older. I'm wiser. Do I really think that they would tell us? I mean, that gets into the whole role of conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because the problem I have is if that truly happened and they came out and said, oh, there was no tampering in the election, and then people found out the truth somehow and knew it was the truth, and people didn't just think it was a random conspiracy theory, you could then never believe anything that you were told anymore by the government. Wouldn't that itself start to cause anarchy?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people that just don't care, like me. Just lost all hope.
I see. I just chopped one of the other colored ones, and the whole tree turned its color.
Wow.
That was
okay.
weird.
You made it conform. I think it. I mean, I don't know how they could tell us, because then what's the process? There's no process. There is no process to deal with that situation.
Right. I think we'd have to make one real goddamn quick.
We can't do anything really goddamn quick. Okay, let's go back to your question. Trump is guilty of colluding with Russia to affect the election. Mm-hmm. We're just saying.
Mm-hmm. Hypothetically. Okay, I was just agreeing.
Hypothetically. If that's true, think of how long that process has taken already.
Yeah, but at the same time, if that's true, do you think they're going to come out and hide that from the American people? I guess that is the thing. Are they going to hide that piece of it? Because if they hide that piece of it, they'll hide anything. But if they don't, because that actually comes out because it's a special election, then that is admitting that there was, tampering in the election, right? Well, I guess it does. It's admitting there was a plan to tamper with it.
And I also think that if it's true that Trump was colluding with Russia or whatever, I think it's gonna be very hard to prove that he was knowledgeable. I mean, he does have plausible deniability about
well, he's not
really
knowledgeable.
anything. Well, exactly. That's the thing that makes it very easy to plausibly deny really anything. And I think that if that's the case, then who knows who all was involved. I mean, the RNC has paid an enormous amount of his legal fees in regards to all of this stuff.
So is that enough to get him impeached at least? Because even if let's say he had no knowledge, and let's pretend for a second we believe he legitimately had no knowledge of it, but it happened. It was still something that affected the outcome of the election, right?
Yeah, but he's not guilty of a crime.
So, but does it get him out of office? Because if you find out the election was tampered with,
I mean, we already know the election was tampered with in some way or shape or form. Like there was outside.
They attempted to tamper with it. Isn't that what you said?
Well,
There was an attempt
there was
to
outside
tamper.
influence on the election. That definitely happened. I don't think that's in question anymore. It's whether or not it was illegally done.
I was gonna say, isn't there always outside influence on an election?
Not legally. You like a foreign government isn't supposed to interfere with our election process.
But we can't stop them from doing that.
Well, we're supposed to try.
Yeah, but if they start like, and I'll be honest, I don't understand the whole Facebook ad controversy. I don't quite know what it's about.
Well, it's that Russia ran ads using Facebook that targeted people that could affect the election, like the voters that were going to vote one way or another.
Isn't that exactly what the candidates themselves do?
Sure, they're allowed to do that all day long. Outside,
But Russia's not allowed to?
No.
So are you saying it would be illegal if, like, in the United States, if I took out ads to try to influence the Russian election because I really wanted? Like,
I don't know what Russia's laws are. See, that's where it differs.
But Russia doesn't have to abide by our laws, right?
Well, I guess that's where it comes into the whole. If like Trump's campaign was complicit in involved with this, and I don't know the law well enough to know whether or not if Facebook was supposed to prevent that from happening too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the controversy comes in with Facebook is advertising agency supposed to prevent that from happening? Russia could do whatever it wants, right? I mean, it's not
right.
It's not there, but it's a matter of whether or not U.S. citizens were involved. But that's where the law is broken.
I find that really interesting then, because that's like saying that YouTube is not allowed to have any ads by somebody who's not American because they could be some way trying to influence our government. Do you have to vet all the ads and say, well, since I can't prove you're an American, I'm sorry. You don't.
I mean, there's special laws for political advertising. There's this
for Americans,
right?
But if these people
but
were
the advertising agency is an American company.
Is there laws that the advertising agency has to abide by? Like,
yeah,
or is there laws that if an ad ran that was against those laws put out by just like, let's say, the Democratic side, is it ABC that's getting in trouble if it was aired on ABC, or is it the Democratic?
Well, that's just like
who made it.
Equal time. Like that's stuff that's getting managed by the network. It's not getting managed by the party.
I didn't know there was actually a law about equal time. So how do Fox News and CNN exist?
It's in regard. I mean, and I don't think it's managed very well anymore, as far as like equal airtime is concerned. But I think that it can be negative airtime and still be equal. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like
it could be a hate ad.
No, I don't think that. But like when it comes to like a program talking about someone or giving them an opportunity to appear, I don't think they have to shine them in the best light.
And it's just so weird to me, like, and I understand the reasoning behind why you'd want equal airtime, so you're not just filling like an already, red state or blue state with just red and blue ads, because then they'll never end up switching because they won't have the information unless they seek it out themselves of the other side of the world. Or the other side of the party. So I kind of understand, but I think that's a lot of kind of ridiculous requirement to put on a theoretically non-political company.
Okay.
I mean, can you imagine what if all of a sudden you get the approval of ads from YouTube on your channel somehow? Like if that changes and YouTube comes to the creators and says, hey, like, which I kind of think that there should be. They have their ad friendly, space. They can just not monetize my videos anytime they want, apparently. What if there's ads that play on my videos that I don't want to support?
You can do that.
How?
Under your monetization settings on, I think it's in your Google Plus account. It's somewhere on Google that you can. It might be in your AdSense account. There is a place where you can say, I don't want these type of ads to play on my channel.
Let's say I didn't want anything, Republican to play on my channel.
No, you can only choose political. That is an option though. You can choose political ads and not be. But goddamn, that's about one of the best ad seasons there is.
That is true. I want to only show political ads.
Like elections are for like an advertising.
But if you can only do a topic though, that doesn't even get to it, because there's groups of people out there that absolutely hate places like Walmart because of the underpaid workers in other countries and the glass ceiling and blah blah blah. What if I
put in a glass ceiling?
What?
I just put in a glass ceiling.
well, you're just part of the problem, Guude. Part of the problem. But what if I didn't want ads from Walmart? I don't know if Walmart does advertising on YouTube, but let's say they did. What if I don't want those ads played on my channel? Do I not have the right and ability to stop YouTube from playing those ads on my channel?
Well, no, because and that's all part of their terms of service, right? I think this is apples and oranges.
Well, okay. Where I was going with it was going to say, if that feature starts to exist, because apparently it somewhat exists, just not in the way that, I'm asking for it to exist. If that feature somehow exists in YouTube where I can select, specifically I won't support these companies, am I not allowed to say, because I'm sure there's TV advertisers who, they pull ads from companies that are didn't places pull ads from, was it right before the Uber scandal, but it was the same type of thing. Some of those companies that had all those CEOs that were up for sexual abuse and stuff for the women staff.
I don't know.
But I believe a lot of TV stations and radio stations and stuff stopped having ads. They pulled their ad support for those.
Are you talking about God, what's his name? Do It Live, man?
Maybe. I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about. The guy. Fuck it, let's do it live.
Do It Live.
You've never... Oh, God, what is his name?
I don't know that.
The guy on Fox News that had his ads removed for sexually harassing co-workers.
So, sure, that guy.
He ended up losing his job. God, he's been on Fox News forever. Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, Bill, didn't he? I just saw an article that he just came back.
Got his job back?
Somehow. Yeah, I didn't read the article, but I saw it and I was like, that's really weird. And then I ignored it.
That's crazy.
I ignored life because I didn't really care that Bill O'Reilly. I was like, screw this guy.
You've never seen his clip about doing it live?
I'm sure I have, but it's not one of those ones I'm like, oh yeah, the Do It Live guy.
Oh man, it's such a good clip. He gets all angry because they're trying to get him to read a teleprompter, and he can't read the part that he's just messing up, and he gets real flustered about it all and starts screaming at everyone. It's like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Oh, maybe I have seen that.
3, 4, 6.
But either way, it's I find it hard to understand that if you can not advertise certain companies because of your belief about those companies, that you're forced to advertise for a political party that you don't affiliate with. Again, I don't know the laws, so I'm just speaking out my ass here about this, but it sounds a little, the right to free speech is also the right to not have to say anything that you don't want to, right? Isn't that kind of taking away that?
I don't really know how it all works either, to be honest. I just know that it's always been my understanding there has to be equal airtime.
I just don't see how that can be mandated, and it upsets me greatly.
I'm gonna look it up. Give me just a second. I'll put down this glass first. Just give me a second.
Okay. Oh, wait.
We're gonna educate ourselves and the viewers.
We're going to get educated on Bill
There's people
O'Reilly.
out there that are yelling at the screen right now.
I'm sure there are. They're like, there's that pit bull hating bastard. That's him right there. How do I... That is not the way I placed you. I'm trying to find a good way to do...
All right. The equal time rule specifies the U.S. radio and television broadcast stations must provide an equivalent opportunity to any opposing political candidates who request it. Since 1983, political debates not hosted by the media station are considered news events, and as a result are not subject to the rule.
Wait, who's not subject to the rule?
Debates. Political debates are not considered part of the rule.
You don't need to give...
During the debate. They attempt to give them equal time, though. The equal time rule specifies that U.S. radio and television broadcast station must provide an equivalent opportunity to any opposing political candidates who request it. This means, for example, that if a station gives a given amount of time to a candidate in prime time, it must do the same for another candidate who requests it, at the same price if applicable. The rule originated in Section 18 of the Radio Act of 1927. It was later superseded by the Communications Act of 1934. A related provision in Section 315B requires that broadcasters offer time to candidates at the same rate as their most favored advertiser. The equal time rule was created because the FCC was concerned that broadcast stations could easily manipulate the outcome of elections by presenting just one point of view and excluding other candidates. The equal time rule should not be confused with the now defunct fairness doctrine, which dealt with presenting balanced points of view on matters of public importance. There are 4 exceptions to the equal time rule. If the airing was written within a documentary, bona fide news interview, scheduled newscast, or an on-the-spot news event, the equal time rule does not apply. Since 1983, political debates not hosted by the media station are considered news events and as a result are not subject to the rule. Consequently, these debates may include only major party candidates without having to offer airtime to minor party or independent candidates. Talk shows and other regular news programming from syndicators, such as Entertainment Tonight, are also declared exempt from the rule by the FCC on a case-by-case basis. The equal time rule was temporarily suspended by Congress in 1960 in order to permit the Kennedy-Nixon debate to take place. The Zapple doctrine...
But I thought it wasn't even about debates.
Well... Yeah, I don't know why that was different.
That's kind of, and I don't understand. So you have to be.
Oh wait, right. That's because in 1983 is when the political debates were changed.
Oh,
so in 1960 it was still the case.
But you have to be one of the major parties to get that airtime.
To be offered time, yes.
Isn't that kind of forcing where the major parties are? What if the major parties change? And what do they consider the major party?
I mean, we're living in a 2-party system. And that's just how it is.
But what if it changes one day? Does something else automatically take over as the major party?
It's hard to change something like that whenever it's so enforced as the 2-party system.
I mean, I understand that it's hard, Guude, but here with me. When Donald Trump goes to jail...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I understand that it's going to be hard to change, but is that written in a way that whoever is the major party at the time... Because back then, when was the Green Party a major party?
12. Yeah, I don't know.
That was sometime in that time frame, though, right? Because you said that was in 1930 something? That started? Wait, was there television in 1930?
Well, no, because it started as a Radio Act in 1927.
1927. Yeah, because the Green Party existed then, right? I don't know enough about politics to know if the Green Party actually existed, but I feel like it did.
I don't know what the major parties have been Republican and Democrat for a very long time. I can look that up too if you'd like. When was the last?
Welcome to Minecraft, folks.
Trying to look here. It's hard as I'm looking on my phone. The Green Party has been active as a third party since the 1980s. It's never been a major party.
Since the 1980s?
Yes.
Oh.
It's never been a major party.
I thought the Green Party was like way before that.
Now, you remember like Ralph Nader was always like the Green Party man?
I didn't know it was that young, though.
Libertarian Party was founded December 11th, 1971. Yeah, it's been Democratic, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party. The Constitution Party was founded by U.S. taxpayer in 1992 by Howard Phillips. Yeah, so no, it's always been Republicans and Democrats and independents. One thing you may be thinking of is basically a long time ago. Like if we like in the 1800s, you and I would probably have identified more as a Republican than a Democrat.
Right, I do know the parties have kind of, I can't say switched sides, but it's more of the, the Republicans were more of the forward thinkers back in the day, right? Whereas now it's more people feel like the Republicans try to hold on to that same Republican stance that it was from back in the day, and the Democrats are more the forward thinkers. I guess is a way that people analogize it. Is that completely
There was
wrong?
also the Federalist Party, right? And I guess there was Whigs too at some point.
Yeah, I remember hearing about the Whig Party, but I always thought they were a small third party.
Right.
I guess I thought the Green Party was just a bigger party. I don't know why.
No, that was always Nader. Yeah, I don't think the Whigs have ever actually won an election. Actually, I'm looking back through the history of time.
Well, no, they all had wigs back then.
And with that, everybody, we're out of time. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching.